Good morning. Good morning, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine, and welcome to my tutorial of how to solve the ABCube. Sorry, I had an itch on my back. Okay. Hi. Good morning. I thought today that I would pull out one of my favorite cubes. This is the Whit-Eden 3x3x9 B, or the second, number 2. Number 1 doesn't have this is a solid for number 1, but for this one it is just as loopy as it's part of the 9x9 set. All right. I am here to demonstrate my method, or to teach the cube to newbies if they want to learn. But you guys all look familiar to me, so I'm gonna play with this. Which one do I play with? I want to play with this one. All right. This one, it scrambles, but the thing is that in order to get a really good scramble, you have to scramble it and solve it incorrectly so that you can get the sides really mixed up. Because if you just scramble the 9x side and then scramble it like a 3x3, when you solve the 3x3, the 9x side is just a quarter turn off, and you can just fix it, so that's not really fun. So in order to get it a really good scramble, you got to I'll be right back. Hello?
Hi, this is Sandra.
Yeah, who's this?
Hi, this is Maria, calling from Revere Family Medicine. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. What's up?
I'm sorry?
I'm good. What's
Are
up?
you there?
Yes.
Okay. So we're just calling to let you know that we do have that letter ready. Would you like to come pick it up, or would you like it emailed to you?
Actually, I gave your fax number to the company that wanted it. That's what they wanted me to do, and so they were going to fax you for it.
Okay, it looks like we haven't received that yet. Do you know the fax number?
Do I know their fax number?
Yes.
I do not. They just said, we need the fax number of your doctor to authorize. So I'm like, so I called to make sure that you guys would do that. And then I said, yes, they'll do that. Here's their fax number. And so they were supposed to be contacting you. This is for the ride share, or the ride assist kind of thing.
Correct. Aubrey wrote you a letter for that. Would it be easier for us to just send it to you and you send it on to them, or would they not prefer that?
Why don't you go ahead and email it to me? But do be aware that they are planning on faxing you for that confirmation.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I will get that emailed over and then update it that it needs to be faxed over to them as well. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we're back. Got to answer the doctor's phone calls. Okay. All right. So I have in order to get it really scrambled, I've got to solve it in a incorrect state. So formula A will bring a piece to the top, and to solve it in an incorrect state, so that then I can twist the centers sufficiently. Okay, I'm bringing a solid color to the top incorrectly. So this is not solving. This is all just part of. Okay, that one's Those ones want to be together. I want to be pieces that don't want to be together, that are together. That's better. Okay, so I've got 4 solid here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Do, 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 do. Those two are two. I don't want anything to be happy to each other. So again, just Formula A to bring the piece I want to the top, which in this case is any piece that looks chaotic. Okay, those two are happy, so let's change that around a little bit. Okay, all right, well, these ones are happy, so we'll do that. All right, so edges, so the corners are correct. Now I'm going to throw these, by correct I mean in a way that the lines will turn. So now I'm just going to place these randomly. This is just to scramble a cube. Just get all of the solid pieces to the outside using Formula B. Let's go there, up, up, just getting it to look as chaotic as I can, but be solved by shape so that I can twist the 9x side properly. All right, okay, so that looks chaotic. Now I can twist the 9 side to scramble it. Okay, so now let's do more. Let's do these sides as well. There, okay. All right, so now I can scramble it confidently that when I put the corners back together in the proper side, the 9x side will be solidly scrambled. Okay, so all of that was just to scramble it. Let's see. How are you guys doing this morning? I think it's Tuesday. If you're new to if you just found me, I'm Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes, and I'll be happy to divert my play to answer any cubing questions. But in the meantime, you guys look familiar, so I'm just going to play with my cube. All right, so for the 3x3x9, the same with any other cube, the first thing I do is I'm going to do the corners, because every cube has corners that want to be a specific way, and when those corners are done, it's going to dictate the colors of the side colors of all of the sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is corners, and again I start with my yellow because this one is yellow this one has yellow as well. All of my cubes have the yellow in common as being a good first step. So, and yeah, okay, so I pick a corner that already has my yellow. That's where I'm going to start. And I look at this corner to see whether there's a yellow anywhere on this corner. And there is. If there's not, I look to the one below it. And if there's not one in either one of these two, then I rotate a quarter turn until there is. So either way, as long as there's a yellow in one of these two corners, Formula A will bring it to the top face. So Formula A is one row, one column. These two are going to flip around, so I'm going to move this piece away from the action. I'm going to move the space down. I'm going to move the piece into this space, and the piece and the space back up again. So that's Formula A. Yellow's not on top, so I'm going to keep doing Formula A until my yellow's on top, and there it is. Then I slide the top row only. And then I'm going to continue with this next corner until the yellow is on top here. So there's no yellow on here, there's a yellow down here, so Formula A is going to bring the yellow to the top. Out, down, in, up. This piece goes out, the space goes down, the piece goes in, it goes in, and the cube in the space goes up again. Okay, so that's still not yellow on top, so I'm going to keep going until my yellow is on top. And boy, it looks like they're solving in the right position, so that's good. Okay, when yellow is on top, I slide the top row to protect it, and I keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. When my yellow is on top on all four corners, then I reassess the cube. Because yellow, each cube has 3 colors, and you know what? We're only looking at the sides of this piece because this is a 9 by. So we look to see whether they match. And at this point, either all of them will match, none of them will match, or one of them will match. And this one, red equals red, green equals green, orange equals orange, so they all 4 match. So I would just then move on to the next step. But if they didn't match, and I'm going to make them not match now just so that I can demonstrate. Okay, here's a position where none of them match. Okay, if one side matches, then I know which way to hold the cube to proceed. If none of them match, doesn't matter which way I hold the cube because it's going to be the same. So I'm going to do this next step, which is formula B to move 3 pieces around, and A to bring the yellows back to the top. And when I do that, then I will have one side that matches and only one side that matches. And then I will know which way to hold it. So I'm going to do that. So, top row, 2 columns. I'm working on the corners, so the columns I'm using are the outside ones. Okay, and you'll notice it's a commutator. It's a mathematical 0. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. Every other move is horizontal. Every other horizontal is the reverse of the one before it. So basically, it's it's only going to move the pieces that I want to move. It won't mess up the rest of the cube. Which for the first 4 corners I don't really care about, but for the second 4 corners I have an investment, so I don't want it to mess up the cube. So, formula B, top row, slide first up, reverse the slide second up, slide first down, reverse the slide second down. And that kept one corner intact, and these 3 were all moved around. So I'm going formula A to bring the yellow back to the top again so we can evaluate where they moved to. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up, slide the top, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, slide the top, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, and yellow's on top on all 4 corners, so we reassess. Red does not equal green, orange equals orange. So one side matches and the other 3 sides do not match. Another way of looking at this is 2 corners are correct and 2 corners need to be flipped, which if the rest of the cube was solved, you would view as a parity, but you don't view it as a parity because you don't have any investment in the other pieces of the cube. So you have no problem making a quarter turn to fix this one. So we're going to do that through formula B and then A to bring it to the top. So our matching side goes away. How are you guys all doing? I'm still paying attention to you. So top row, 2 columns, slide up, slide down, and we just moved 3 cubes around. And now we're going to bring formula A back to bring the yellows back to the top. 1, slide the top and only the top. Continue to affect this corner, the new top front right corner. Yellow comes to the top, continue. Sorry guys. Okay. Alright, so and now we can see that the yellow corners are correct to each other. Not just the yellow on top, they're correct to each other. So again, there was 3 ways it could have been. It could have been none of them match, it could have been one of them match, it can be all of them match. But either way, if all of them match, you go on to the next step. If none of them match, you still B to A, and then you'll have one side that matches. Okay, so our yellows are correct. Yellow corners are correct to each other, so we put them face down. Boom. And now we're going to abandon our yellows because we trust them to take care of themselves. And we're going to work on the color that's opposite yellow, which is white. Because this is a standardized colored cube. If you don't know that because you're a newbie, or if you have a non-standardized cube, you just look to see what color all 4 for the now top corners have in common. And as a hint, it will be a side that doesn't touch the yellow. So these 2 are already face up, so I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to do formula A to bring the white to the top, and like I said, we're abandoning the yellow. So I'm not going to, if I look at the yellow halfway through this step, I'm going to think the yellows are scrambled, and I'm going to panic. And we don't want to do that, because the yellows are not scrambled. They're very smart. They can take care of themselves. The cube is basically honest. So we're going to use formula A to bring the white to the top. Bottom row, right column. Out, down, in, up, out, and we're going to keep going until the white is on top. There we go. Slide the top row and just the top row. We keep the cube stable. And again, our yellow looks scrambled, so we're abandoning it until all the whites are on top. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Now our whites are on top. Okay? We check the sides. Either all of them will match, none of them will match, or one of them will match. Orange does not equal red, blue does not equal green. None of them match. Okay? So it doesn't matter which way we hold it right now. We're going to do B and then A, and then one side will match, and then we'll know how to hold it. Okay, so slide the top first up, reverse the top second up, slide first down, and second down. Okay? And our yellows are happy with each other. The yellows are still correct. So now we're going to use formula B to bring our whites to the top again. And again, if we look at the yellows halfway through, we think, oh no, I messed up. No, you didn't. Trust yourself. So white's on top, slide the top row. Don't turn the cube, just the top row. And keep going until the white is on top on all four corners. And when the white is safely on top on all four corners, then we can look at our yellows. Oh, yep, our yellows knew what they were doing. They're still happy. They're fine. Okay, so now green does not equal red. Blue equals blue. So this we're at the one side matches. And so we're going to hold that facing away from us. And we're going to do formula B. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And again, formula B does not mess up the bottom. And formula A, because it's always done in multiples of 6 from this point forward, is also not going to mess up the rest of the cube. It's only going to affect the pieces that I want to be moving. So, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on top, slide the top to protect it. Keep going on this one. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide the top to protect it. Keep going on this one. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay, so whites are now correct to each other. Yellows are still correct to each other. All that's necessary now is to rotate the top as needed until the top and bottom are correct to each other, which, oh my goodness, they already are. And then the corners are now done. That's chapter 1 of my book is the corners. Corners are all done. The next step we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite edges. We're going to work on the edges. We're going to do the opposite edges first. I can take a minute here while the rest of the cube is still scrambled to line up. I missed a step. I missed a step unique to the 3x9. So let's I'm going to do formula A to move the centers. Out, down, in, up. Okay. And now it wants to go up here. Out, down, in, up. Now here's the step that I forgot, and I apologize. When you're working, oh, I screwed up. When you're working with the 3x9, you don't have to do some of the things, but you want to make sure that your sides, that your centers are horizontal to the white and to the solids being on top and bottom, so that when the other pieces line up, you'll be able to move it at the end. So this is not horizontal. So the first thing I should have done was make sure that this was horizontal, and this was horizontal, and this was horizontal, and this one is horizontal. Now I will bring my yellows to the top. Okay. None of them are yellow. So now, again, I'm not going to just muscle it in place because that changes the direction of that. So I have to do so to start all over again. Hi, I'm Sunshine. And this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes. So for the 3x3x9, the first step you have to do before you start moving your pieces to the top is make sure that your center is horizontal. Okay. And that the top and the bottom are lined up correctly as well. So this goes this way, this goes this way, so let's turn it like that. Okay. So all of my centers are now turned the right way. So now we can start solving the cube. Okay, let's bring yellow to the top. All right, is there a yellow here or here? Yes, let's save ourselves some time and put a yellow in both things. All right, no, let's not. Yeah, okay. All right, so out, down, in, up, yellow's on top, slide it out of the way, keep going. Out, down, in, up, yellow's on top, slide it out of the way to keep going. No, a yellow here, no, slide the bottom, yellow here, yes. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, down, in, up. Slide the top, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, up. I did not make sure there was a yellow to begin with, so I'm going to switch these two ad infinitum until there's nothing happening. So I got to start with a yellow in one of these two spaces. Out, down, in, up. Okay, there. Now, because A and B do not rotate, mess anything up, our centers are still horizontal. Okay, so that's good. Now I check the yellow corners. Red does not equal orange. Blue does not equal red. One side matches, it faces away from me, and I'm going to do B and A. And B is also not going to move anything around. So slide up, slide down, and see my centers are still in the right direction. Formula A to bring my yellows to the top. Okay, and then slide the top to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide the top to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay, and now my yellow's corners are all correct to each other. And again, I go face down. Now I'm going to make sure that my centers are same direction, and they are. That's good. Okay, so now I'm going to use formula A to bring the whites to the top and abandon my yellows. I'm still laughing at myself for not setting my centers first. Alrighty, okay. I'm going to bring white to the top. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide the top to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide the top to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay, and white's on top. Green does not equal blue. Orange does not equal green, but red equals red. Okay, so faces away. Slide up, slide down, and then bring up. Then formula A to bring my whites back to the top again. Dip, dippity-doo, da, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. And we just keep going until the whites are on top. Okay. And the corners are correct to each other. The centers are horizontal, and my centers are correct to each other. So yay, we're happy now. Okay. Now, at this point in time, I can muscle my centers into place if I want to, and I'm going to. So I find, but where does my white? It's right here. So I'm going to move it to. I'm going to move it up, out, down, in, up, And I just changed my centers. Hold on. All right, okay. Centers are horizontal. I'm just going to muscle it into place. And all of my centers are still horizontal. All right, so I can line up my center if I want to, but I'm still going to be moving it around, so it doesn't matter at this point in time. So now I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to worry. I'm worrying about just the center pieces here. I'm not worrying about anything else. So my corners are correct, and the next step is to do the edges. I'm going to do the opposite edges, which are white and yellow. I've been training my eyes to look for white and yellow. I'm going to keep looking for white and yellow. So I hold yellow and white are left and right, either way. I find a piece with yellow or white. It's on the front. I want it to be on top, so I flip it. Again, yellow and white are left and right. Either way doesn't matter. Now this piece, so I find a piece that wants to be on the outside, on the opposite edges, but is in the middle area. I bring the corners to match the front, and again, I'm ignoring everything except for the outside colors because you don't want to get confused. And so you're looking at the red here, and the corners match the front. It's going in the yellow direction, not the white direction. So this one is going to go here. So top row and the two columns are where this is going to land and where it begins. So it's going to land here. Start by moving it away. Away, first up, in, second up, away, down, in, second down. Okay, and this cube is placed. This QB is placed, and we look for another yellow or white. Here's one. Again, it's facing me. I want it to be on top, so I flip the cube, but yellow and white are still left and right. Bring the corners to match the front color. Okay, all of this, all of this is just, as much as I don't like the reduction method, for large cubes, you have to do it for the non-n by n by n. Okay, so corners match the front. It's going in the yellow direction, so it's going to move away. This is where it's going to land as the first column, where it begins as the second column. Start by moving away. Out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. And this cube is placed, and we look for another yellow or white. It's on top, so we're happy. Bring the corners to match the front. Again, we're looking just at the outsides here. And it's going in the white direction, so first column, second column begin by moving away. Up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay, that's placed. And here's another piece. I want it to be on the top, so I flip it. Yellow and white are still left and right. Corners match the front. It's going in the white direction. Away, up, in, second up, away, down, in, second down. Okay, so I'm ignoring all of the 9 by sides that until I get it placed by shape first. Okay, so here's another piece in the middle that wants to go to the outside. Line up the centers, line up the corners to match the center. It's going in the white direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Ta-da! And then looking for more yellow or white. Here's one. And we're going to keep doing this for as long as there's a yellow or white in the middle area. And then I will reassess. So, bring the corners to match the front. Okay, and again, we only care about the outside ones, so it doesn't matter. It's going the yellow direction. So, first column, second column, begin by going away. Up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay, so that one's placed. Now, I don't see any more yellows or whites in my middle area, so I reassess. At this point, then I look to the opposite edges and see if they're done. If they are, we proceed to the next one. If they're not, we're going to throw a garbage piece into whatever is wrong. So, these ones are correct. This one is not. So, we're going to throw a garbage piece in to move this piece out. Okay, so we start by moving away, up, in, and then this tells us which column goes up. So a second up, reverse, down, and now we have garbage over here, but we have another opposite edge that we can place. Flip it so it's on top. Yellow and white are left and right. Bring the corners to match the front. And it's going in the white direction. So, first column, second column. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. This one's placed. Look in the middle. Look in the middle areas again. Another white or yellow. And we keep going. Our corners match the front. It's going the yellow direction. So first column, second column, we begin by moving away. Up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay, that is placed. Look again. Okay, I know there's not a white or yellow right there because I can turn this. So but we look and see there's no more there. So now we look again. The white side looks to be correct, and the yellow side looks to be correct. So yellow and white are left and right. Those are done. Okay. The next step is to do the side edges, and at this stage, what we can do is that's going to solve just this middle, this tiny little middle layer here. Because this is the absolute center. Because of the 9, it's an odd number, so the middle one is here. So we're going to do looking just at the 9 side, the top and the bottom are done. We're going to do the equator here as well. We're going to do this middle layer. So we do that by taking a piece from the yellow. White goes down because I like yellow better. So white is face down now. I pick a yellow piece to displace, and I'm going to move it down, and it's going to eventually find its way back to the top again. And as I said, when it finds its way to the top, it'll either be correctly placed or incorrectly placed, depending on whether there can be a parity. And so the first thing we're going to do is line up the center one so there's not a parity. So this blue, we need to move it to the blue area. So our centerpiece is lined up. That means we won't have a parity. Okay, so we're going to displace this piece down. So a slide up, slide down, okay? And now we're looking at just the center area. This piece will eventually find its way back to the top. So we look over here, and we're looking only at the middle color. The other ones don't matter. So what we're looking at here is blue and orange. Okay. So we're going to move the cube until it matches the cube. We rotate only the top row here, which is 3 rows. Doesn't matter. We're rotating the cube until the orange corners match the front. So orange corners match the front and the middle. And so it's going into the blue direction. The other color is blue, so it's going into the blue direction. So it's going the orange and blue. It's going to be over the orange and blue and something corner. So it's not going this direction, it's going over here. So top row, first column, second column. Slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay, that one is placed between those two. Find another piece. We're looking here at the orange and green. Okay, hold the top row, rotate the cube until the corners match the front. It's going into the green direction, so this way. Looking at the bottom row is telling us what to do. We're ignoring everything on the top layer except for the cube we're working on. So we're ignoring these corners. We're only looking at these bottom corners now. So corners match the front. It's going in the green direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay, so that's placed. And our yellow made it back to the top. Good. So now we look to see if the other side's correct. This one is, this one's not. So let's keep displacing yellows down, displace an incorrect yellow. We don't want to displace our correct yellows, we'll displace the incorrect yellow. So it's going to go down here. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And now we're looking at this red and green. Hold the top, bring the corners to match the front. It's going in the green direction, so it's going to land over here. So first column, second column. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And this is all preliminary because it is fun when we get to the 9 by side. As long as we're working on the 3 by side, it's familiar. You already know what you're doing. Red and blue. Okay. Hold the top, bring the corners to match the front. It's going in the blue side. So away, first up, in, second up, away, first down, in, second down. That is placed. Yellow came back to the top, so we evaluate again. This row, 1, 2, 3, 4. The center row is indeed correct. Okay, so yay, we're happy. All right. At this point in time, I suppose that I can muscle one of my colors together, one of my center colors together. Oh, someone followed me. Hi, I have a new person. Hi, thank you for the follow. I am if you're new to my channel or to me, I am Sunshine, and I created the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cube. That's formula A, that's formula B, and with that you can solve every size, every order of difficulty Rubik's Cube with just formula A, just formula B. Ask me about parodies. I love talking about parodies because, I had a cuber came on and said, well, A and B doesn't handle parodies. I'm like, well, you don't have to. That's because parodies are a lie. We don't need parodies. So we will handle parodies. We will handle parodies because they do show up, but they are a lie, and I will explain that when I'm asked or when I get to that position. A parody, yeah, we'll come back to parodies because I'm here. So I suppose that I can muscle one of my center colors correctly here. So here's a white, and I'm just going to do that. Here's another white. I can move these so they're on the same face. Okay. And I can use formula A to move them to the top, which is formula A, which is 1 row, 1 column. You line it up under where it wants to be, and you go away. So you move the piece out, move the space down, move the piece back in, and the piece in the space back up again. And because I did not fully scramble my cube, that solved the yellow side as well. It oughtn't to have if I had scrambled it properly. So, if you have any questions or comments, do put them in chat. I love to chat. I love to chat more than I love to monologue. And I love to teach more than I love to demonstrate. But cubes are my passion. I love it. And since I can solve... I want to say every cube. Since I can solve every cube with the AB method, but it's not every cube. It doesn't handle shapeshifters well. It does not handle. I have no idea how it does on pyramids because I haven't tried. Why do I use sticky tack so that you can follow what my eyes are following? That's all. So that you can follow what I'm doing. So I mark the piece that I'm affecting, and then you can watch as that piece is affected. So it's just a visual aid. I hope, yeah. When it's intuitively obvious what I'm doing, I don't do that. But so formula A and B. This is a 3x3x9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 3x3x9. And each 3 rows is the space of 1 row. And A and B works on it. I just have to get it into the 3x3 shape first, and then A and B works on the 9 side as well. Excuse me. Story time. When I first got the 3x3x9, I figured I can learn it. I'm smart. I can learn it. And I could not learn it. I spent literally a month every day I watched a new person and tried to find formulas. I tried to figure out how to do it. And everyone, of course, had algorithms because everyone uses algorithms instead of me, except for me, because I have to be unique. So everyone used algorithms, and I know the algorithms because, hey, I've been cubing since the early 80s, so I know algorithms. And so I'm trying to find, it's like, make it simple for me. Pretend I'm an idiot, make it simple for me. And for a day, for a month, every single day, I would try it again and try it again. And I'm like, I am not smart enough to do this. So the closest I could get was, here is an algorithm. This algorithm is going to move these pieces and these pieces and these pieces. So hold your cube so that that's going to be advantageous, and then do this algorithm, and then reset your cube and look and see what to do next. And I'm like, I tried. And I'm like, nope. And so I'm like, no, wait a minute. I've got my A and B method. What happens? And so I'm like, well, you know, I can't tell because you have to have a solid cube, to be able to see what the algorithms do. So I didn't have that. So I moved to one of my larger cubes and said, I'm going to pretend that my yellow and white are banded and I can't move my yellow or whites. So what can I do with A and B? And I realized that I can't just do A and B as written, because when you can't get to the middle areas that way. You know, I can't get to the middle areas if I do formula A and B. So I'm like, what happens if I do formula B, but instead of one turn horizontally, it's a double turn horizontally. So every horizontal turn is a double. Well, now what does it do? Let's find out. I'm going to affect this piece. Okay, so top, up, top, and then this is my second column because that's where it is. So there's my second up, and then reverse, down, reverse, down. Well, what did it do? Okay, it moved. It switched these two pieces switched, and these two pieces switched, and the center's messed up and did something. Okay, so let's do it again. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Well, what did it do? Well, the centers did more things, and these two switched back, and these two switched back. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I know what I'm doing now. So if I do more, it gets back to start. But I'm going to leave it that way. No, I'm not. Okay, so, all right, so slide up, slide up, slide down, and the 3, well, let's see, my centers are happy again. So the centers are affected by a 3 turn, 3, 6, 9, they'll all be back to normal. And then so if I did another up, up, down, down, okay, up. I'm going to finish my 6 count on this just so that I can set it down without my OCD going, but it's not solved, you've got to solve it first. Okay, so 6, since 2 moves, switches these and puts them back, and 3 moves, switches the edges and puts them back. 6 is going to get back to the ending. At 4x4, I hated parity for so long that I got all parity to sub 3 and OLL parity to sub 3 and PLL parity to sub 1. All right, well, I'm going to tell you. All right, well, let's talk about parities. I love talking about parities. Parities are, and let's see, where's my 3? I had a void cube out here that had a parity preloaded on it. Parities are a lie. A parity is where it looks like there's 2 pieces and only 2 pieces that need to switch. And it can, let's get my 4x4 out. Here's a 4x4. That's not solved. Let's get a, all right. Let's pretend this is it. All right, first of all, let me set up, a parity is 2 pieces, only 2 pieces out of place, and there's a big old long algorithm you have to memorize in order to do it, and so you have this big old long algorithm you have to memorize just for a specific thing that only happens roughly 50% of the time. But the parity can look different ways. It can look like this. It can be on the same row and look on opposites like this, where this one wants to here, this one wants to here. It can be on the same side. This one here wants to go here, wants to go here. Or it can be on different faces even as you try to work with it, where this one, and this one these one change. But anytime it's 2 and only 2, there's always formula B always moves 3 pieces around. And I said, that's all I need to do. So there are not two pieces around. That's a lie. There's not two pieces that need to be undone. There's three. And the third piece that you do not see is the piece that you do not see. It is the center row that the parity touches. That's why you cannot get a parity on a 3x3, but you can get a parity on a 3x3 void, because your center can be off without you knowing it. So, and that's what happens on the even numbered cubes. Every row, every center row that is not the absolute center can be a quarter turn off, and you won't know it because these pieces can fit. The edge pieces, the floating edge pieces, diagonals and obliques and centers and all this stuff, can fit one of four places and still look correct. So wherever your parity looks like, the row that touches that parity is a quarter turn off. You make that 1/4 turn, and then instead of two corners, two edges and only two edges, you now have three or more, and you have parities or formulas to solve that. And that means that if you work center out, you're going to have to reset these centers again, but that's okay because they were not correct. If they were correct, you wouldn't have had a parity. They only looked correct. And we as humans, we don't want to undo what we've already done. So if you work from the corners, if you work outside in instead of inside out, then when you do that single quarter turn for your parity, you don't have to redo anything because you haven't done the centers yet. So it's easier to make that 1/4 turn when you're not invested on, but I've already put those in the right place already. So that investment was incorrect, I'm sorry. So you can memorize a parity algorithm, and they work, and you can certainly do that. But I have speed solvers tell me that the parity algorithm takes 4 seconds, and by my account, if you haven't done the edges yet, the 1/4 turn takes a whole lot less than 4 seconds. So if a parity can show up on corners or edges, but if a parity shows up, I just quarter turn it. If it's on edges, I just quarter turn it. And if it's on a center, on an edge pieces, corners, I quarter turn it. Edge pieces, I quarter turn it. And then you keep working, and you do not have to learn a parity algorithm. So when I teach this method to non-cubers, I just don't teach them parities. I just say, oh, parity. If there's never two pieces wrong. There's always three. Your cube is lying to you. Make a single quarter turn, and now you can solve it. So, because I hate parities too. Not anymore though. Now I just whisk them away. I dissolve the parity instead of solving the parity. So, all right. So 3x3 minutes. So here we are. Again, doing one should not have done both of them. It's just that I scrambled it improperly. I didn't do a diligent enough job of scrambling it. So corners are done. The absolute edges are done. Let me reset my center here. Okay, so if it was a 3x3, it'd be done. Now I get to work with just the 9 by side, and I'm going to do that. The only difference now, everything from here on out is a formula B. The only adaptation I have to make is instead of left and right and left and right and left and right and left, every time I do a horizontal, I have to do 2, and that's okay because I can do that. Now, when I did it on here, I saw I'm doing the centers last. I'm doing the edges first, and I saw that 3 edges moved on my right side and only 1 edge moved on my left side. So I can ignore what these two just go flip. So I'm going to ignore those because it's not the right side is not affecting my left side. I'm going to start from the left out. So I can ignore what these two edges do, but these two edges I need to pay attention to. So I'm going to place 1 edge piece at a time from the left. Okay, so I know that these two pieces are going to switch. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for a piece on the right that wants to go on the left. So I'm here between the red and green. This one is red and green, but flipped the wrong way, so it wants to go to the left. Let me see if any of these do. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's another one. This one also wants to go over here. This one, I'm going to place it over to the other side just so I can displace something else. Because if it's on the right side, I can work with it. So I'm going to displace something that's wrong over here while I'm at it. So let's find a piece. This one's correct. So these two want to go over there. This one doesn't, but I'm going to place all three of these over here so that all of these will come over to this side so I can work on it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. These want to go here. So I'm going to rotate them. I'm going to separate them. I'm going to move the pieces that wants to go, the piece that wants to place to the back, and the piece where it wants to be is to the front. So these pieces are going to swap, and that's going to be advantageous for these two, and this one is I'm doing it as a tool. So I'm treating these three as one piece because I want all three of these to move. Okay, so now I'm going to do Formula B. Slide up, slide second up, slide down, slide down. Okay, and then I'm going to whatever I do on the right side doesn't matter. I can just reset it. The left is all I care about. And so now these two are in the correct place, and these two are correct, and this one displaced other things over here. So so that was fun. So now I'm going to look and see if there's any red and blues that want to go over to the other side. So I just look at them. That one's correct. There's two. These two want to move. Three. I have three of them, so I can treat them as one. Sometimes I do one at a time. Sometimes I do three at a time. So this one wants to go here. I separate them. I make with a double turn, which means these pieces are going to go here, and these are going to go over there. And then Formula B again. Slide up, slide up, slide down, reset, and we're fine. And so these ones are correct. And so I'm working just on the left side. My right is all just cannon fodder. I can do whatever I want with it. Okay, so that's done. So let's see what I can find for the orange and blue side. This one wants to go. Let's see if there's anything on this row. This one, two. That one wants to go. Only two of them. But this one's not correct, so I'm going to get it out here anyway. So I'm going to treat these three as one piece, and I'm going to separate them with a double turn. So these two are going to switch. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Reset myself, doesn't matter. And now, okay, these ones are correct, that one's not, that's okay. And so now let's look at another side. What else do I have? So between the orange and green side, this one wants to go over. Let's see what else I have. One, that one wants to go over. Two, all three of them do. No, it's not all going to line up this way always, but I'm going to move as many over as I can at a time. So these want to go here, so I separate them with a double turn. So these are going to switch. So slide up, slide up, slide down, and oh yeah, back to my story time. I said it took me a month to try to learn it. As soon as I figured out to try my AB method and just do the double turn, I had mastered it in a day. So I'm like, oh, because it was all things that I already knew. Okay, so this one is done. This one still has one piece that wants to come over. So let's see if I can find that piece again. So the orange, there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my blue sticky because I'm going to let you follow along with what my eyes are doing. So this piece wants to go here. So again, I separate them. Okay, so this piece is going to go here. So B first up, I'm sorry, top first up, top second up, top first down, top second down, and reset. So this one's correct. Okay, so this one is correct, this one's correct, this one still has one to do, and this one's correct. So there's one more edge piece to place on my left side, and it is this one. So this one wants to go here. So I separate them, and sorry, I didn't mark it. Okay, top, up, top, second up, top, down, top, second down. And now my left side is done. My left side edges are done. And now, so here's what I do. I was ignoring the right side edges because I was going to see what they did. So at this point in time, either they're correct or we have a parity. So these ones, their two sides are correct, and these two are not. This one wants to be here. This one wants to be here. So there's a parity. On this one, none of the sides match. Remember? Okay. If one of the sides matches, I'm going to put it on the bottom. If none of the side matches, it doesn't matter what I do. So 2, 3. One side, here's the matches. Okay, so the matches goes down. Matching side goes down. Actually, the matching side goes to the back because I already told you that we're going to do that. Okay, so just as it goes on the back and for the so matching side goes to the back. Okay, if none of the sides matches, it doesn't matter. So every one of these has a parity. This one has a double parity. So in order to get rid of the parity, a parity is where something is a quarter turn off. So these are paired up in layers with these ones. So all of these, I'm going to turn all three of these layers 1/4 turn, and then I'm going to resolve from that position. Okay, so I'm going to place these pieces. I'm going to displace these pieces into here. I'm going to move these pieces out so that then I can place them correctly. So up, up, down, down. Okay, so here I line it up. Okay, they want to go here, so I separate them, and then formula B, up, up, down, down. Okay, now those are placed. This time they're correct, or some of them are. 2 of them are. And so here's my orange and green. I line it up to where it wants to go. Line up when I want to go here, and then I separate them. Formula B, up, up, down, down. And then those are set, and these are here for me to do something with. So I line it up. These want to go here. I separate them, and then formula B, slide up, second up, slide down, okay, and then here's these ones want to go here. I separate them, slide up, slide down, okay, set. So now these are presumably correct again. Now I look and see if I have any more parities. Okay, that one side matches, that one doesn't. What did I do? That side matches, that side matches. Now they all have one side that matches. Okay, so these two need to flip. That's what I did wrong. I didn't line. These two that need to flip should be my 2 front. My parity, my matching side should be on the back. I think I turned that somehow. Okay, so anyway, all of these have a parity. So I'm going to rotate a quarter turn for all of these. I'm going to do it again because I made a mistake somehow. So up, up, down, down. Okay, and so no, these want to go there. Separate them. Up, up, down, down. And then these want to go there, so I separate them. Up, up, down, down. Okay, and one more. These want to go there, separate them. Up, up, down, down. One more, separate them, up, up, down, down. Okay, and now these ones are correct. So now all of my edges are correct. All that's left is the centers. And remember what I said, that the centers the centers move 3 turned rows to correct. So I'm going to be, because an odd number of turns messes up my edges, and even number of turns put the edges back. So from now on, everything I'm going to do is going to be, every bee I'm going to do is going to be a double. Going to be done twice. So these pieces want to go over here. So up, up, down, down, again up, up, down, down, and set, and they moved. Okay, so these reds want to go up here. So, all right, let's mark them this time. So these are going to go to here. I start with them crosswise. So up, double, up, double, down, double, down, keep going, up, and it did no, up, down, down, and those are placed. Okay, so now we want to move the green down or the blues up. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing them individually. This blue wants to move up here, so I'm just going to work on these 2 pieces. So up, slide, up, slide, down, slide, down, and again, up, slide, up, slide, down, slide, down, and set. So that piece is placed. This piece wants to go up, and which means I can bring down either this orange or this green, and the green is the one I want to bring down. Actually, I need to bring both of them down, so it doesn't matter, but I need to bring the green has to go twice, so I'm going to do that first. Okay, so they're catty corner. So up, slide, up, reverse, slide, down, keep going, up, slide, up, slide, down, and set. And so that one's there. Okay, so I've moved all the blue ones up. All right, now let's move these green ones up. Okay, so these 2, they're lined up. Okay, so these 2 can line up. So these ones are going to interchange with these ones, so I can treat it like a double, and you treat both of them in the same way. So I start with them catty corner. Okay, then up, stay there, slide, up, slide, down, and because I've done my edges, they're there to keep me straight on which columns I'm on. Slide, up, slide, up, slide, down, and set. Okay, so those are placed. All right, one at a time. This one, set at kitty corner, up, slide up, slide down, slide down, and then because, like I said, because the edges are done, they keep me track of what they keep track for me of which column I'm on. Up, up, down, down. Okay, so we got one more. This one right here. It is catty corner. They do line up. See? Okay, so up, slide, up, slide, down, slide, down, and again, up, slide, up, slide, down, slide, down, and set. Okay, so then we just have these ones. Okay, they have to be done individually. These ones, because I can swap these two, but it's not going to help. So it helps to work. I work from the outside in because it's easier to keep track. So these ones. So up, slide, up, slide, down, slide, down, again, slide up, slide, up, slide, down, slide, down, set. Okay, and then again, let's just see. Okay, so these two line up. So these are the two. To make sure, if I worked with that one instead, it'd be interesting. Okay, so catty corner or diagonal, up, slide. Hey, science guy, up. Science is cool, guy. Down, and again, up, up, down, and down. I am working today. Okay, for those who have just joined, I am Sunshine. I'm the creator of the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cube. Science is cool guy was here. I was working with him a couple days ago. And what I'm doing now is this is the Whittington 3x3x9. And it is A and B solves this one just as well. For the 3x3 part, it solves it as if it were Rubik's Cube. For the 9 part, the only adaptation you have to make is for the horizontal moves. Instead of horizontal and back, every horizontal move has to be twice, so that you can work with the 9 by side. And it's the only banded cube I've ever tried it on, so we'll have to see if it works. So, so we need one more piece to place. This piece wants to land here, so separate them across the, make them diagonal, and then last time, so up, up, down, down, and again, up, up, down, and down. So yes, the AB method works on the Whittington 3x3x9. So, parity. Parity is a lie. If there's 2 pieces and only 2 pieces, I did it! Yes! Yay! Confetti! I told the story when I got the 3x9 to try. I labored for a month and I just could not figure it out because I'm trying to find a solution online. And finally I just said, what happens if I adapt my B? And so I did a formula B on a large cube and pretended I could not move the yellows or whites at all, and I came up with what happens for the formula B if I do 2 rows for the top for each top row instead of 1, and then I was able to master the 3x9. So yes, you solve it as a 3x3, and then you solve the edges. Edges are done. Edges formula B switches a whole bunch of things around on the right, but only one thing on the left. And so I paste the pieces onto the left, one piece at a time using formula B. And when I do, then my right is either solved or has a parity. If the right has a parity, I solve it the same way. I make a quarter turn on my left for the row that has the parity, and then I solve it again, and the parity disappears. And then, so once the corners and edges are all done, the centers are also done with formula B, but in sets of 2, because odd numbers switch the edges around, and even numbers puts them back. So yes, the ABCube method works for this as well. All right, that's it. I'm going to follow you back, visualize 64. All right. Okay, that's it. That feels like a good stopping place. I was going to work on this as well. A and B solves the pieces as well. But you have to do order of operation. You got to do the star before you do the other pieces, because when you do the star, formula B moves more than 3 pieces around. You have unintended pieces moved around, and they are the corners and the edge, the corners, the edges, and the diagonal centers, the floating centers, yeah. And so if you do the star first, then everything else can be done with just formula B. So I'm doing a series on these. I've set it up so the last one I did, I did the centers as the last step. I'm doing this one as the edges as the last step, and then I'm going to do another one as the corners for the last step. So you can see what each thing does, and by the rest of the cubes being done, it's easier to solve. Okay, so just really quickly, what formula B does. Formula B on these moves 3 pieces around. Okay, it will move these 3 pieces around. If I one row, 2 columns. Okay, it moves the piece to the outside and moves these 3 pieces around. So if I do formula B right now using this row and this column, this white will come over here where it wants to be. I'm going to do that. So slide up, slide second up, reverse down, and these 3 pieces moved, and that one was one we wanted to move. So that's what you do for this. I need to go have breakfast. Yes, I have a 7x of the minks. Are you talking about the minks? When he said the beautiful is cube, I have a 7x. I got a 5x and a 7x because I figured, hey, why not? Maybe I can figure it out. And Doug said I would like it, so he was so right. Yes, it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And so I've got my 7x, and I keep saying, you know what? I love that 7x, but it takes so long, and it's bigger for my hands, so it makes my hands cramp. So this is the last time I'm going to do the 7x, and then I look at it and I'm like, I got to do that again. That was so fun. I cannot stay away from them. So yeah. So here's another one. Okay. See this blue pink wants to land here. And we know that formula B moves these 3 pieces around. So if I do formula B for if I apply formula B to this piece,